Hey guys, what's up? Jared here, Decks and Dice. I'm gonna weigh in on the ban list shenanigans, and before I actually give you my opinion, let me tell you where I personally stand on the whole thing as far as a player goes. I don't play to win. Any of you who have ever played me before in the shop, you know my decks are basically just table hate. I make it difficult for everyone to play. I make sure that you want to do what you're going to do, and if you're going to do it, you're going to take a loss of life, discard a card, sacrifice a creature, some shit. Rack those stacks, I guess, is if you might want to call it. But even then, most of my decks are made to bring everyone's life total down as far as I can before I'm hated off the table. So that way, the remainder of the game only takes 20, 30 minutes, maybe, not 5 fucking hours. But I digress. Coming from I'll do like a player collector and then like a store aspect first. Player collector, I get it. You probably spent a whole bunch of money getting these, and now you're pissed off. Viable. However, and I'm just going to address the vault here because I really don't know what's going to happen with the other pieces. I mean, the crypt. I call it vault because it's just in my head for some reason. Anyways, I'm going to address the crypt. Hang on to it. If you can get more because I think the crypt is going to end up being power piece number 10. I really do. That's my personal tinfoil hat theory, but I think crypt will be another power piece, so it'll be the power 10. Looking at it from like a shop point of view, I honestly don't know what the hell you were doing hanging on to, we'll say, 30 crypts and 9 lotuses and 12 docksides or so forth and so forth. Like, I understand there are huge shops out there that get huge inventory churns and so forth and so forth, but like, every one that I've ever gotten has pretty much flown out the door either the day I've gotten it or a day or two after I've gotten it. So I don't get shops that have 20 or 30 of these in stock and haven't been able to move them. Um, but that's because I'm a small shop, and if you're trying to, like, currently, if you're going to compare me, it's like apples oranges. Like, that's just a huge ass inventory churn that I can understand because of like my time with Walmart inventory control and blah blah blah. But at the same time, it's like fucking amazing. Anyways, but if you're a shop, dude, grab the crypts. Grab them for the same reasons why I said for the players and collectors. I really think it's going to become a piece of power, and it's going to be the power 10 instead of the power 9. I get everyone involved has lost a big chunk in their worth of their collection. I understand that. It's not cool at all, and I know the main gist of this is like, hey, it happened, get the fuck over it. But I also kind of commiserate because a lot of you probably worked really hard to get the money to get your crypts or your docksides or your, lotuses or whatever, your jeweled lotuses. But hang on to these pieces, even the lotuses and the docksides. Like, hang on to them, cry a bit over them, and be like, what the fuck happened? But hang on to them because I have a feeling that at least with the crypt, like I said before, it's gonna go up. And thing looks doom and gloom right now, but it's gonna go up. And you've already spent the money on it. There's no sense in you trying to like fire sell everything unless you're just that pissed off and you want out. Then by all means you do you, boo boo. But if you plan on being in the game for longer than another year or two and you want to like keep a collection and all that, hang on to these pieces. Because there's always a chance that the rules committee goes back on this banning too. I mean, I wouldn't put my eggs in that basket, but there's the slight chance. But just hang on to them. Be pissed off all you want, cry over them and all that good stuff, but just hang on to them. And if you're a shop and someone is going to try to trade these in, get them. I take the loss a little bit. Like you're gonna buy them knowing that no one's probably gonna buy them from you. But if I'm right, in another couple of months or whatever, you'll be able to get way more for them. So just try to keep that in mind. Um, and plus, like, everyone's whining and crying about, I know I got like an eyelash in my eye or something. Everyone's whining and crying about, oh, my money, my money, my money. Okay, cool. I get it. But how much shit have you bought in your life that was a complete and total waste of money, anyways? You have probably wasted more money through random endeavors, through just throwing parties, to going out to eat, or whatever and whatever. You have probably wasted 10 times that amount in what it probably cost you to get your crypts or your lotus petals, your jeweled lotuses, your docksides, any of these cards. Like, try to keep that in perspective too. Like, it sucks, I get it, but it's not the end of the world, man. Everyone takes losses. It's not a game that you're, I don't want to say it's not a game that you're going to win, but it's not a game that you're mostly going to come out on top of anyways 9 times out of 10 as far as trying to like get your monetary value out of what you've spent. It doesn't work that way. Mostly. There are unicorn scenarios, but mostly it doesn't work that way. So yeah. Anyways, I guess really what I'm trying to say is just that everyone calm the fuck down. There are already workarounds for these pieces being done. I'm sure everyone has figured out substitutions for them by now. Sure, it's going to slow the game down some. You're going to see way more Demir decks, Thassas, Consultation. That's going to come back with a roar, I believe. But I hope the fuck not, because that's just going to be boring. But everyone just take a breath, calm down. It'll be okay. Everyone has had workarounds in there now. It's been over 24 hours. Everyone's figured it out. And I mean this in the best fucking way possible. But you can just go net deck your shit now like you probably were going to do to begin with the add-ons or substitutions or whatever in the deck list now instead of like a crypt or a dockside. They're there. Good for you. You just waited it out for someone else to figure it out for you. Net deck it. Hope to God you can pilot it correctly and just be done with it. So that's kind of how I feel about that. Another random tidbit. There's 2 things about a little speculatory thing where there were supposedly shops, I think it was out west or whatever, where most of the rules committee streamer dudes, whatever, live or whatever, supposedly. I don't care. They sold the fuck out of all these cards within a couple of days of this ban announcement going out. They pushed them really hard or whatever and sold as much as they could. So there's insider trading supposedly going on, as well as another tin hat theory of, since the rules committee has a bunch of content creators put on it, that they intentionally did this to slow the game down so that their games could be longer and so that they could have longer videos for more chances for ad revenue to be on the videos. That may or may not be the case. Don't know. I don't get ad revenue, unfortunately, but that's also another tinfoil hat theory. So keep those 2 in mind too. That could also, they could be real, they could be true or whatever, but that's just theory at the moment. But yeah, anywho, that's my 2 cents on this. Take what you will. It's not really that good of a take, I guess. It's just get the fuck over it, Buttercup, you'll be fine, is the ultimate goal of that one. Because it's a card game, man. Like, that's the best I got for you. It's a card game. I get it if you're going to be competitive about it, but at some point in your life, you're going to look at it and be like, what the fuck did I do? Like, you really are. I hate to say it, but take it from a 41-year-old guy who kind of looks back on all the time I spent doing it. I don't regret it at all, but trying to be competitive in the early days and all that good stuff, like, you have the same chances as a fucking, professional athlete does. So, like, if it's your thing, fucking go for it, obviously, but most of you are just gonna look back at it and be like, man, what did I do? Why didn't I just play the game to play the game to have fun? Like, I spent all this time. Sure, I guess it's worth it because you got like stories and stuff to tell, so that's not worthless, but like, come on, man. It's a card game. It's Commander. Most Commander stuff is literally just you sitting around playing with your buddies anyways. So, anyways, and I guess I just feel that way because I'm not a very overly competitive person, especially when it's a game, like a legit game. There's nothing on the line, like, if I lose this, I'm not going to die kind of thing, or like anything like that. Anyways, yeah, like I said, the general gist is you'll be fine. Get the hell over it. There are workarounds. Go net deck your shit. Print off your proxies or whatever. And remember, at the end of the day, there is always a rule zero conversation that you can have before you even start playing Commander. I know that's not a thing for, like, I don't know, sanctioned tournaments and shit like that, but as far as your LGS goes, you playing with your group of friends and everything, there's a rule zero conversation for a reason. You can 100% ignore this ban and just play normally. So there's another reason for you to just kind of like get the hell over it. So yeah, again, as I say with every video, I'm just going to end this right now because I'm just rambling like a retard. Life's not a dick. You don't have to take it so hard. This is a perfect example of that because at the end of the day, this really doesn't affect you all that much if you really think about it. Worst case scenario, these cards still will hold some value, so don't worry about it. Best case scenario, Crypt becomes power number 10 and starts soaring through the roof. Jeweled Lotus and Dockside, like I said, the other ones I really don't know about, but I don't foresee any of these pieces actually going to pennies or even $5 a piece. So your worst case scenario is that they hold their value that they currently have. Best case scenario, they just slowly tick up with time, and if you just hold on to them, you won't hate yourself. So have a good one, guys. Again, I'll repeat it again. Life's not a dick. You don't have to take it so hard. Have a good one. I'll talk to you later.